The trading post at Nexus 7 hummed with the usual cacophony of intergalactic commerce. Merchants from dozens of species hawked their wares, while cargo haulers wheezed past on repulsor lifts. In the middle of this chaos, Tom Bradley sat at a worn metal table, nursing a cup of synthetic coffee that tasted like disappointment. He wore nothing more threatening than faded jeans, scuffed boots, and a black t-shirt with white text that read, "I survived the Marines, Semper Fi." To most aliens, it was just another incomprehensible human garment. They had no concept of what those words meant. The Vrex delegation approached his table with the swagger of apex predators. 8 feet tall with chitinous shells and mandibles that could crack steel, they were the galaxy's most feared warriors. Their leader, Commander Thrak, towered over the human with unconcealed disdain. "You are the human representative," Thrak clicked in heavily accented galactic standard. "We have come to collect the tribute your species owes for safe passage through Vrex space." Tom looked up slowly, his weathered face impassive. At 45, he carried himself with the easy confidence of someone who had seen too much to be impressed by posturing. "And what tribute would that be?" "Your entire cargo hold of processed minerals, plus your ship's navigation database," another Vrex warrior interjected. "Consider it payment for your continued existence." The surrounding merchants began backing away. Everyone knew the Vrex reputation. They had conquered 17 star systems in the past decade alone, their military might unquestioned. The few species that had resisted were now extinct. Tom took another sip of his coffee. "That's quite a demand. You mind if I ask what gives you the right?" Thrak's mandibles clicked in what passed for laughter among his kind. "Right? We are Vrex. We take what we wish because we can. Your pathetic species has no warriors, no weapons worth fearing. You are soft merchants and scientists, nothing more." "Interesting perspective," Tom said, setting down his cup. He leaned back in his chair, the motion causing his t-shirt to stretch slightly across his chest. "Tell me, Commander, what do you know about human military history?" "Enough to know you have none." "Worth mentioning," Thrak replied. "Your ships carry no weapons. Your colonies have no defenses. You bend the knee to any species with sufficient firepower." Tom nodded thoughtfully. "That's the beauty of good intelligence gathering. We've learned that most galactic conflicts can be resolved through diplomacy and trade. Why fight when you can negotiate?" A younger Vrex warrior stepped forward, his carapace gleaming with fresh scarification. "Because negotiation is weakness. The strong take from the weak. This is the way of the universe. Is it now?" Tom stood slowly, his hands relaxed at his sides. Though he was barely 6 feet tall, something in his posture made the Vrex unconsciously take a half step back. "That's certainly one philosophy. But you know what I learned in my 20 years with the Corps?" The aliens exchanged glances. They had no context for that word, no understanding of what it represented. "The most dangerous enemy is the one who doesn't look like a threat," Tom continued. His voice remained conversational, but there was something underneath it now, a steel core that hadn't been there before. "See, you've made an assumption about humanity based on incomplete data. It's a common mistake." Thrak raised himself too, his full imposing height. "Are you threatening us, human? We could tear you apart before you could blink. Could you?" Tom asked with genuine curiosity. "That's an interesting hypothesis. But here's what you missed in your intelligence briefing. Humans don't have a warrior class because we don't need one. Every human is a potential warrior." The coffee shop had gone completely silent. Even the background hum of the station seemed muted. Tom tapped the text on his shirt. "This little piece of fabric here? It tells a story your species apparently never bothered to research. United States Marine Corps, Semper Fidelis, always faithful. It means I spent 2 decades learning how to break things and kill people for." My government. More importantly, it means I survived training that would have killed half your warriors before they ever saw real combat. The Vrex leader's mandibles twitched uncertainly. Impossible. Humans are weak. Your physiology. Our physiology is the result of evolution on a death world, Tom interrupted. Our ancestors survived ice ages, plagues, predators, and constant warfare. We're endurance hunters who can literally chase prey to death. Our muscle density is 3 times galactic average. Our bone structure can absorb impacts that would shatter your chitin. And our adrenal response system turns us into berserkers when threatened. He took a step forward. The Vrex instinctively clustered together. But that's just biology, Tom continued. The real weapon is up here. He tapped his temple. We've spent 10,000 years perfecting the art of warfare. Every human military has tactics and strategies your species hasn't even dreamed of. We've fought with sticks and stones, with gunpowder and lasers, in jungles and space and everything. In between, the station's security forces were gathering at the edges of the common area, but they made no move to intervene. This was clearly above their pay grade. You want to know why human ships don't carry weapons? Tom asked. Because we don't need them. Give any Marine a maintenance tool in 5 minutes, and he'll turn it into something that can breach your hull. We improvise, adapt, and overcome. It's what we do. Thrak's confidence was visibly wavering. Your species has no empire, no conquered worlds. If you are such great warriors, we don't need an empire, Tom said simply. We explored the galaxy and found it full of civilizations worth preserving. So we chose a different path. Trade instead of conquest. Diplomacy instead of domination. It seemed more civilized. He paused, letting that sink in. But don't mistake civility for weakness, Commander. Every human freighter captain out there has a military record. Every merchant, every scientist, every diplomat. We're all veterans of something. And if you push us hard enough, if you threaten our friends and allies, we'll remember how to be the monsters our ancestors were. The silence stretched until it became uncomfortable. Finally, Thrak straightened his carapace with obvious effort. We may have acted hastily, he admitted. Perhaps our intelligence was incomplete. Tom smiled, and it was neither friendly nor unfriendly. It was simply acknowledgement. Perhaps it was. I'd suggest updating your files before your next tribute collection. The galaxy's a dangerous place when you don't know who you're dealing with. The Vrex delegation withdrew without another word, their martial pride thoroughly deflated. As they disappeared into the crowd, normal conversation gradually resumed. Tom sat back down and picked up his coffee cup. A nearby alien merchant, one of the cat-like Falari, approached hesitantly. "Excuse me, human," she said softly. "Is it true what you said? About your species?" Tom looked at her over his cup. Every word. But here's the thing: most people miss being capable of violence, and choosing violence are 2 different things. We learned that lesson the hard way. He took a final sip of his terrible coffee and stood to leave. These days, we prefer to keep the peace. It's just good business. As he walked away, the Falari merchant noticed something else printed on the back of his shirt. Peace through superior firepower. She decided not to ask what that meant.